sits atop the Missouri Valley Conference, thanks in large part to their two-way, two-guard Jabez Jenkins, who's been strong as of late. But Murray State is racing for that top spot, and Fred King's been a big part. Top 11 in the conference in points, rebounds, and blocks. Murray State and Belmont next. College basketball on CBS Sports Network is presented by Fresh Pet. In frosty Nashville, where it feels like single-digit temperatures. And we're right next to the Student Center here at the Curb Event Center. Fun matchup. Top two teams in the Missouri Valley Conference, Murray State and Belmont. Let's take a look at Valley Conference standings. And yeah, it's these two teams separated by just one game, which means the winner of this will be in first place at the end of the night. Hello and welcome courtside alongside former Duquesne standout Noah Bono. I'm Chris Lewis. So this game, it really does check all the boxes. So you have the stakes, winner, first place in the conference. You have the style of play, both teams the top offenses in the league. And then you have a rivalry that dates back to the Ohio Valley Conference. Sign me up.
Sign me up. You got Belmont, who has one of the most efficient offenses in the nation, and Murray State's just going to have to bring a different level of physicality. They can score a ton of points. They can get into a shootout, but physicality and being high alert on the defensive end is going to be huge for Murray State to win this basketball. And being high alert on the defensive end is going to be huge for Murray State to win this basketball game.
As we transition to our AT&T Fast Analysis game. As we transition to our AT&T Fast Analysis, we're focusing on the shooting of Belmont, always one of the best. We're focusing on the shooting of Belmont, always one of the best in the country.
They run some of the best sets in the country, and it starts with Tyler Lund. They run some of the best sets in the country, and it starts with Tyler Lundblade. He's going to get it done. You're going to watch him run a marathon tonight with the amount of blade. He's going to get it done. You're going to watch him run a marathon tonight with the amount of movement he does off the ball. One of the best movement shooters in the country. And how about the movement he does off the ball? One of the best movement shooters in the country. And how about the freshman Owen Dillon? Almost 70% from the three-point line. Freshman Owen Dillon, almost 70% from the three-point line over his last 5 games. He's been an absolute inferno. Over his last 5 games, he's been an absolute inferno.
Absolutely shoot it. Now on the Murray State side, this is a team that at one point won. Absolutely shoot it. Now on the Murray State side, this is a team that at one point won 12 in a row. They started Valley Conference play 8-0, but they've now 12 in a row. They started Valley Conference play 8-0. But they've now dropped 3 in a row. Javon Jackson, though, has continued to put up numbers.
Yeah.
Dropped 3 in a row. Javon Jackson, though, has continued to put up numbers.
Yeah, Javon Jackson is the engine that makes this team go. Obviously, there's some Javon Jackson is the engine that makes this team go. Obviously, there's some desperation involved here with Murray State. You do not want to lose 4 games in desperation involved here with Murray State. You do not want to lose 4 games in a row, but he's a phenomenal downhill right-handed driver that can play off 2 in a row, but he's a phenomenal downhill right-handed driver that can play off 2 feet, and you're going to see a ton of that creativity off the bounce as he tries 2 feet, and you're going to see a ton of that creativity off the bounce as he tries to create beyond the three-point line. A 41% three-point shooter, create beyond the three-point line. A 41% three-point shooter. He takes this Murray State team as far as they can go. He takes this Murray State team as far as they can go.
Offensive weapons all over the floor, and 2 teams that are offensive weapons all over the floor, and 2 teams that are extremely familiar with each other. Murray State, Belmont, extremely familiar with each other. Murray State, Belmont from Nashville is next on CBS Sports Network. From Nashville is next on CBS Sports Network. 16 wins Murray State, 19 wins Belmont. And the 2 teams that are atop the Missouri Valley Conference will be a fun one in Nashville. Casey Alexander has his team right on the doorstep of another 20-win campaign. He's a Nashville native, and yeah, he's used to doing a lot of running outside. Like, that's his go-to activity to clear his mind. It's a little cold outside. Don't know if he's been doing as much running outside this week, but his team certainly has the ability to run as we take a look at the lineups for both of these teams coming into the game. Now for Belmont, one absence, Sam Oram, who played just 7 minutes last time out, elbowed in the face. He's not in the starting lineup, not in the rotation for Coach Alexander in this game. Meanwhile, for Murray State, their usual starting five and their head coach, Ryan Miller, longtime assistant, now getting a chance to lead a program here in his first year at Murray State. We are running tonight here in Nashville. Murray State comes in dropping 3 in a row. That was immediately after a 12-game winning streak. But they're still in second in the conference, and this is the Creighton transfer, Fred King, bullying through the lane and draws the contact on our first whistle, 17 seconds in.
I think what we're going to see a lot of is a ton of really good actions. Both these teams run a lot of really good sets. It's going to be out of those double stagger formations that you saw on the sideline like that. You'll see a curl on the first one. You may see some flips, some handoffs. There's going to be a ton of fun executed basketball here by two really well-coached teams.
Fred King is 61% free throw shooter. The foul on Drew Sharnowski. And just talking to you before the game, this feels like the type of contest that a basketball nerd would love. Just the different ways these teams can put the ball in the hoop.
100%. A nerd will love it, and anybody that loves offense of any kind, this is dessert for you. I mean, there's going to be, I expect there to be a good amount of points here tonight.
Belmont puts up 82 a contest. Murray State leads the Missouri Valley, scoring 86 tonight. Brigham Rogers getting the start in this game and delivering 2 with the left hand.
Good job catching it in the middle of the floor. Half a second of patience on that drive, playing off 2 feet. Gets Belmont on the board.
So it's Rogers' 12th start of the season. Orrin, we mentioned him being out, and Belmont still without their point guard. And Nick McClain, the Eastern Washington transfer, missing his 8th straight game with his injury. Scoop layup with the right hand on the left side for Lane Taylor.
Yeah, downhill really easily. There was no help side coming off that left wing there. He was able to get downhill and finish the inside hand.
West starts to get downhill, sets up Jenkins in the corner, off the rim, but the O board for Rogers. Isaiah West, who moved into the starting lineup with the McLean injury. That one wide to the right, still on the deck, and scooped up by Sharnowski. Lundblade off a screen, triggers and hits. That is three-pointer number 74 this season. By far and away the leader in made threes in the Valley.
Get ready to light it up. Tyler Lundblade, he's been searching for his shot the last couple games. Nice to see the first one drop early on.
Former walk-on, by the way, at 3 different schools.
Shout out to Walk-On Nation, man. That's unbelievable, his story.
Out of bounds, will stay on this end. So initially walked on at SMU, then TCU, now here at Belmont.
Nobody really wanted that loose ball, and then Lundblade able to get open on that little flip. Knocks it down.
Shot clock at 5. It's King against Rogers. 2 bigs head-to-head in a whistle. Another foul on Belmont. And Rogers, his first, he's second.
Yeah, so 2 minutes in, both the bigs for Belmont have a foul apiece because Fred King is an absolute monster down there. He's going to draw fouls all night.
There's the backup to Ryan Kalkbrenner. All those years, the All-American at Creighton. Slapped away and stolen with Isaiah West, one of the best perimeter defenders on this Belmont team. 5-4 Bruins early going. Lundblade fading to his left. It doesn't matter. And looks right at this student section who serenades him.
Oh, yeah, we're in for one tonight. Tyler Lundblade knew he needed to have a big game. Pretty little shot, pushing that ball out, knocking it down. 2 for 2 to start.
Deflected away and out of bounds will belong to the Bruins.
So watch him get the flip. When that defender gets caught and there's the second screen, he's able to all he needs is half a second. He's up in the air and knocks it down.
So, Noah, that's the second time we've seen the dribble handoff game with Fred King playing closer to the basket against the big who uses the dribble handoff. Does King need to come up?
If he's going to keep making shots, you might have to pull him up, get a hand there, show, and then get back.
See how they continue to defend this action. Both teams, by the way, make 10 threes per game. Of course, those atop the conference. And Fred King that time got in the way and commits the foul.
Yeah, and that was an interesting play because Fred King didn't even bother closing out at the three-point line, right? Because Charnowski, he's not going to necessarily shoot that three-pointer, but all it did was give Charnowski full steam ahead to draw that foul, and Fred King was put in a tough position to not bring those arms down, which he did.
Misses the first free throw, just a 44% free throw shooter. So we've already seen the downsides, though, of King staying near the basket, right? So he allowed Charnowski to get ahead of steam, pick up the foul, and those 2 threes were, again, because King was drawn near the rim.
Yeah, I think part of the thing we're going to see with those handoffs is just how many different bodies they're willing to get off of the help side and then throw at Lundblad to make him pass out of those situations versus shooting over the top.
And now another shooter comes in for Belmont, and Owen Dillon, who over the last 5 games has been putting up over 16 points a contest. Big power dribble for J.J. Traynor, sets up the shooter, Jackson wide left, and here comes Belmont. Wide pass right towards the Racer bench. It'll stay on this end.
I feel like when you save the ball like that, you just deserve possession. Good effort from Javon Jackson there to try to keep it alive.
Collision there. I enjoyed your concern for everybody involved there. The 2 players coming together and everybody right there on the bench.
Yeah, realistically, he didn't need to touch that. I mean, it would have been Murray State ball on that bad pass.
Lundblad shakes loose again, looking for his 3rd three. Offensive rebound. Rogers comes flying in and draws the contact. So the junior from Georgia, who averages just over 7 points a game, and that foul's on King. That's already the 2nd on the Racer shot blocker.
Yeah, not even 4 minutes in, he's going to go to the bench. That's what Brigham Rogers does. He is going to be a pest on the glass, going to be so annoying for this Murray State team to box him out every time on the offensive end.
That time, miscommunication on that dribble handoff game as the pass goes out of bounds. So how big of a loss is it for Murray State with King on the bench already with 2 fouls?
Well, it just spread you a little thinner to start the game, and he drew those 2 fouls early on offensively, then picks up 2 on the defensive end. They're going to have to try to figure out a way to get buckets on the outside.
Corner 3 Traynor. Offensive board for Dylan Anderson. A Boise State transfer gets fouled. A former 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Arizona. And that foul on Rogers, so that's number 2 on the Belmont big. He goes to the bench. Miller cut off at the elbow. He's an excellent shooter. Nephew of the head coach. Jackson deflected away and will stay here with 10 on the shot clock. Aiden Noyes comes in for Belmont. The redshirt senior from Cincinnati, so both teams go deep. Belmont, usually a 10-player rotation. Murray State, 11 deep.
Yeah, both these teams have a ton of necessary depth that's going to help them come tournament time in March.
Including Jack Smiley off the Belmont bench. Charnowski had a rolled an ankle, but somehow shuttles it into the lane for Aiden Noyes. Got the basket and one.
Well, Noyes got to make a noise in here. Did a good job cutting off the pass there. A little flip. And then draws the and one.
So yeah, Nashville is a city where they like that musical noise, sweet music from Aiden Noyes. Driving to the rim. Then into contact. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network. Yeah, they got pizza at the student section at the Curb Event Center. Long day. Had a women's basketball game right before, and now the men's basketball game. Belmont Murray State doubleheader. Now, Noah, we get into our keys to the game. They're brought to you by Fresh Bet. What do you got? Keys to success?
Well, for Murray State, you got to try to hold the Bruins to under 30% from 3. I think if you can slow down this high-octane offense that's super efficient, you're going to give yourself a chance. Dominate the defensive glass. Speaking of the efficiency, do not give a really efficient basketball team 2 chances on the offensive side of the ball. Got to secure defensive rebounds. As for Belmont, control the pace. I think Belmont, if they want to play fast like they normally do, that'll be to their advantage. And 20-plus assists. They're 7-0 this year in games where they've had 20 or more assists. So I think moving that ball, swinging it around, getting everybody involved going to be huge tonight.
Both coaches at shoot-around very complimentary of the other side and what the opposite coach has done, especially Ryan Miller in his first year at Murray State. Brand new team and has them right at the top of this league, only behind Belmont. Casey Alexander doing it again with a great offense for the Bruins. It was a three-point play opportunity for Noyes, who hit the layup before the break, connects on the free throw. The guy who replaced the Hall of Famer Rick Byrd, and now doing his own thing here in Nashville. It's a 10-0 run for Belmont, trying to end it with a Jackson three. Dylan Anderson chases the rebound. Jackson averages a team-high 17 points per game. He's third in the Missouri Valley Conference in scoring. Knifes inside, teardrop shot. Boy, there's a lid.
Yeah, there was some really good help side defense there, too. That shot was not easy to even get downhill and get it off.
Owen Dillon, ball in his hands. It's usually launched, and it usually goes.
Uh-oh.
He's a 49% three-point shooter this season, a player who stands at 6'9".
You can't give him an inch of space. He catches the ball, you got to be there on the catch and run him off the three-point line, make him get rid of it, or make him make an uncomfortable play on the perimeter. You definitely can't let him do that.
A redshirt freshman with a devastating shot who's been coming on over the last couple of weeks. A heel on the sideline for Jackson. That's a turnover. 13 in a row scored by Belmont. An incredible start in front of their home fans.
Yeah, and Murray State just 1 of 7 to start the game from the floor, and they've turned it over 3 times. Just haven't been able to find any rhythm on that offensive end.
Tyler Lundblade back in. He's already made 2 threes. Aiden Noyes heads to the bench. And Lundblade started out at SMU as a walk-on. Then went to TCU as a walk-on. He earned a scholarship at both of those places. Only had 52 college minutes prior to his stop last season here at Belmont as Lundblade lays it in, where he put together an all-conference caliber type of season. It was one of the best stories in college basketball last year. He was the nation's leader in three-point percentage.
Yeah, he's living every walk-on's dream to be able to get multiple, not one scholarship, multiple scholarships at multiple universities, and now be doing what he's doing at Belmont. Uh-oh.
A block shot, but before that, an offensive foul with the traffic underneath. Dylan Anderson gets called for his second.
Yeah, there was some nastiness going on down there, pushing and shoving. The play before, though, when Lundblade scored, as we see the foul here, see Bez Jenkins and Anderson going at it. But I referenced, hey, you gotta make the ball on the deck. He put the ball on the deck and threw a beautiful backdoor pass to Lundblade, who had a nice reverse finish. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
They're just clicking on all cylinders. Right now, scored the game's last 15. It's a 17-2 run over the last 5 minutes. A spin and then a step back. Charnowski short. There's Roman Doman, who's been generating a lot of attention. A skilled 6'9" freshman from France. Fade away off the back rim, and the rebound gobbled up on the run. Jack Smiley.
Not able to get easy looks.
Sees an opening, swatted away, and that's the diverse skill set of Brock Weiss on the block shot. Doman transition leading the pack, and Braden Shorter, who's a shooter. That one way off. Weiss, no. Charnowski altered, hits out of bounds and belongs to Belmont. They are locking all windows and doors on that end.
There's not an option for Murray State to go to, even on some of the open looks from 3. I mean, there's just suffocating defense. Look at the wall-ups, the good help side. You got multiple bodies, multiple red jerseys down there. Contested shot, and Charnowski really impactful on the defensive end.
Belmont 6 for 11 from the floor, 55%. They've made 3 of their 6 threes. Team that's been in the top 25 in three-point percentage, or 3 points made, I should say. Every year they've been a D1 team, save for 1. They are always a sharp-shooting team.
That's that second chance.
Bully session in the early going in Nashville.
Yep, and they got noise to make the crowd making more noise. 18-point lead early on.
We're watching college basketball on CBS Network, presented by Fresh Pets. Belmont has scored the game's last 20 points. already leading by 18. Tomorrow, noon Eastern, catch some women's college hoops action. Kent State, Ball State square off right here on CBS Sports Network. And the MAC women's basketball standings. The championship game on CBS Sports Network in March. That in Cleveland, but Miami of Ohio right at the top. Both men's basketball and women's basketball when you talk about the MAC. By the way, there was a women's basketball game right before this one, Belmont and Murray State, both having great seasons in both men's and women's hoops. It was Murray State that got the road win here in Nashville. But this game, we're mentioning the new college basketball term, Evan Maya helping to coin the term kill shot for a 10-0 run. Yeah. What do you call a 20-0 run?
I think you have to say it's an execution. I'm not sure there's another word that fits it.
The last 20 points in this game have been scored by the Bruins. Ryan Miller had a chance to talk about it during this last stoppage. Not much space. With Corbone cut off, they go to the post, up and under move. Doman floats it in. And that is the first basket in 6.5 minutes for the Racers.
They're going to need more of that from Doman. That's one of his most efficient shots. He loves getting the ball in that mid-post, back to the basket, turn around, fade away. That time off a shot fake, little leaner towards the baseline. He's going to be a fun player to watch tonight, assuming Murray State keeps calling his number.
Deflected stays here, and Doman, where is that number 77? He's been named Missouri Valley Conference Freshman of the Week 3 different times this year. From the northern part of France, right on near the border of Belgium.
Is he the first person to do like mimic of Luka Doncic's number?
7-7. Leaning to the left. And Aiden Noy hits his second three. He has 9 points already in this first half. He had scored 2 points all season. Granted, this is just his 5th game played this season. He missed 18 games with an injury. Sharnowski blocks that shot. Doman sets up shorter. He takes the three, and it goes.
Well, they needed that. Good shot there from shorter. But you can't keep trading threes. You got to guard the three-point line. Got to be there on the catch and run them off that three-point line. Way too many opportunities. 5 threes already in this first half.
Sharnowski climbs the ladder, lost it on the way up.
Is he floating?
But it goes off the backboard and in anyway.
It looked like he paused in the air. I don't even know how he got the shot off.
Hit the pause button on the DVR.
It didn't look like it was supposed to go in. That was bizarre.
Braden Shorter, D2 transfer, was a sharpshooter at his prior stop. In the lane, a high pass. Vice climbs up, but stumbles and throws it away. Dylan rifles. Sharnowski thunders. 29-9.
Yeah, Braden Shorter was sleeping there, guarding his man, but it's in transition. You got to guard the basket. Somebody's got to pick up the ball sooner.
Belmont has made their last 5 from the floor, and the whistle is Shorter on the dribble drive. He'll head to the free throw line.
Nobody picks up the ball, and nobody Roman Doman he's just standing there. Got to run back. Sharnowski, an easy flush.
Now, whether you're a coach or one of the leaders on the team, as Shorter's at the line, makes the first. How do you prevent the heads from going down 10 minutes into the game if you're on the Murray State side?
I think you emphasize that there's still 30 more minutes in this game, right? You're only 1/4 of the way through. You got to keep your composure, relax, figure out where your flow in this basketball game is. Obviously, you know where they're hurting you most. It's beyond the three-point line. Start there and then let your offense kind of run its course on the other end when you can settle in after getting some stops defensively.
It was all going Murray State's way during their 12-game winning streak. Since then, they've trapped 3 in a row. Sharnowski tried to throw it down. Belmont keeps possession. Reverse layup from Jenkins off the backboard and in.
Bez Jenkins gliding through the lane. A little euro, a little inside hand finish.
Sharnowski snatches and has it tipped by Shorter from behind. It'll stay with Belmont with 9:34 to go in the first.
That missed lob looked like he wanted to crank it. And then look at that low pickup. A little sweep through, inside hand finish. Take another look. Woo! Just in time before the block shot.
They still call that the jelly?
No, I think jelly's more of like you get close to the finger roll,
Okay.
maybe something slick high off the glass. That's a little more finesse there. But I guess finesse, jelly, they're kind of hand in hand.
I'm still just making sure I'm up on my most recent cool basketball terms.
I'm subjective with it. I don't know. I don't know who gets to be the final judge, honestly.
Dillon deflected. He regathers. Belmont, just a roaring start to this game. Trainer throws that one away. Smiley on the drive, 7 on the shot clock. You certainly believe this is Belmont's best 22-game start to a season since 2020-2021 campaign. They're 19-3 this year. They've won 6 straight. Deep from Smiley puts the smile on all of Nashville's face.
Wow. That wasn't just a 3, too. He was a couple feet back and let it rip.
Trainer attacks the basket and briefly silences the crowd. Still up 21 points.
Yeah, you want to see Owen Dillon a little lower on that tag there out of the ball screen, be able to pick up that roll man sooner.
Dillon got it. Shooting the lights out.
Make it stop.
7 of 10 from 3, the Bruins. Jackson fades, that one wide left. Doman boards, bumped, count it, and 1. Trying to fight their way back. And Roman Doman, freshman who's 20 years old, will head to the line to try to complete a 3-point play. Jenkins, his first foul.
He loves that left side of the floor on that low block, that mid post. That's the second bucket he's had from that area of the floor. And he's been a bright spot early on. It's just been hard to even get him the ball and get him into their sets. You want to see Javon Jackson back in the game, try to control this Murray State offense.
Just saw Dillon check out, Win Miller in for Belmont. Doman, an 81% free throw shooter, completes the 3-point play. He has 5, Shorter has 5. That's 10 of Murray State's 16. Lundblade curls again, launches, grazes the front rim. He does not need to be on platform to get loose.
No, as long as his belly butts pointing at the rim, he can get off any shot he wants.
Jackson, he fires. That was a tough look.
Get back.
Nobody has Jenkins, throws it down. And the frustration continues to build for Murray State. Timeout Racers.
And Bez Jenkins says, you don't want to get back? Fine. It's crank time here in Nashville.
Our broadcast position here at the Curb Event Center is right in front of the Belmont student section. I just heard a student say, I have goosebumps because the team is playing so well. Belmont up 39-16, and it's their 3-point shooting.
Yeah, they're 7 of 11 to start the game, and for most of the game, they've been getting some easy looks outside of Lundblade's 2 tougher looks. A lot of these have been open 3-pointers, and they're just doing their job, stepping into it with rhythm and confidence and knocking them down. And Murray State is in a load of trouble because they have not been able to guard that 3-point line.
I want you to contextualize how surprising this start is, considering we came into this thinking this would be a heavyweight fight between 2 contenders.
Chris, I've been jinxing us all day. I thought the game was going to be neck and neck, punch for punch. And the way Murray State has come out after those 2 early fouls by Fred King, who is back in the game, their rhythm has just been completely thrown off, and you have to give credit to Belmont's defense. Their defense is leading to some unbelievable offense. Almost 40 points. We still have just over 7.5 minutes to play.
They get Jenkins for the off-ball foul there. It's the team's 7th, which will send Matisse Corbone to the free throw line. Well, you highlighted it there with Fred King. He picked up 2 early fouls, the starting Murray State center. Sat for a while, and you can see the score of how successful they were with him on the bench. Not very, as Corbone hits the front end. So they bring him back with 7:47 to go here in this first half. And a player who averages 13 points and close to 9 rebounds. He leads the conference in rebounding. He's second in the Missouri Valley in blocks. Getting a chance to shine and play this season. He was the backup to the All-American Ryan Kalkbrenner, who's now a member of the Charlotte Hornets, who are playing great basketball in the NBA right now.
Hornets absolutely stole Ryan Kalkbrenner in the second round, and he's been sensational for them. Really needed that front court player, but King was able to learn from him and be behind him and compete against him, and that goes a long way. Obviously, his production on the floor this year has shown, and I still think he can make an impact in this game, but he's going to need a little bit of time to get his legs back under him after sitting for multiple minutes there early on.
Of course, at Creighton, he was playing for Ryan Miller, who was an assistant for Greg McDermott for 4 years there, before getting his first head coaching job at the college level. After being a long-time assistant, plenty of successful stops. Off the dribble, Noise.
That's what you want. Great closeout, made him put the ball on the deck and take a tough contested mid-range jumper.
Doman, gorgeous step-through move, and he lays it in with the left.
He's doing that little woo, because he knew it was slick. He wanted to dunk it and then timed it perfectly to kind of slither through for that reverse layup.
Backdoor Lundblade. It was kicked, so they'll reset the offense. But Doman, he's starting to get that social media hype.
Watch him on the, right there, he wanted to take off on 2, and he said, no, I'll just take the 2 steps, and it turned into that reverse layup. It's really smart basketball down there while he's thinking and playing fast.
Because he can put together some incredible highlights at 6'9", the way he can handle the ball. You just saw his agility.
Social media loves him. Yeah. They find a guy, they put together the tape. He's got so many tough buckets. That's why. He's a really good player. I believe there's a couple scouts in here. NBA scouts looking at him tonight.
At least 3 different NBA scouts in attendance. Fade away from the elbow, Owen Dillon.
He looks hurt. Coming up hobbling, that right leg, right ankle maybe.
That's one thing Belmont can't afford. More injuries. Trainer, athletic, has bounce.
Take a deep breath. You needed something easy around the rim. Belmont playing up too high. They take advantage of that little lob pass.
All right, what's the target number for Murray State? Let's get this in within what by halftime?
Can you get it within 14? You feel good going into the half, like you have a chance?
Jenkins is fouled. Jabez Jenkins, they like to call him Bez. He has 2 fouls in this game, but we'll head to the free throw line. J.J. Trainor's first foul. We say 14's that number where you feel like, all right, you get it there, and all right, at least we've made some inroads if you're Murray State.
I mean, 15's fine too. I feel, you know, whatever. I don't want to be too particular. Anything in that range, I think when you go into the half, after being down by so many here early on, and you're down by 16, 17, 18, 19, that range, you go into halftime still feeling a little bit of defeat. But if you can make a run and get just a couple stops, you cannot let this Bruins squad hit any more three-pointers in the remaining 6 minutes. That's going to be the key here. To keep running them off the three-point line like they did with Aiden Noyes, coughed up an air ball. There you see their recent woes.
It was all smooth. Those 12 games in a row started with a win against GW. They had 12 in a row, started conference play 8-0. But then a setback against Drake on the road, Northern Iowa. That's a tough trip, the Iowa trip in the Missouri Valley Conference. It always is tough every year. But then a home loss to Illinois State, which ended a 12-game home winning streak for the Racers.
I think Corbon's got to try to come off the thing and drive Owen Dillon. There you go. Get a paint touch and kick.
Doman wants 3 off left side. Miller tiptoes for the rebound, shuttles to Doman, deflected away, and stays here.
He's going to get one. He's going to get one of those. He's searching for it. He's had a couple almost opportunities. Roman Doman. Good shuffle pass there, but better defense timing up that swipe down.
Aiden Noyes reinserted.
So one-on-one off that baseline out of bounds. You just get it to the high post. Everybody get out of the way. And Roman Doman does the rest.
9 points, 4 of 7 shooting. Other end, quick 3 launch. Dillon in and out. And here comes Taylor on the run. Yep. Arkansas product.
Don't let them get their defense set. There you go.
Trainer shoves the defender aside, but the help side for Belmont too much. Ahead of the back, here's Jack Smiley. Wow! He can get up. Who would have thought?
What a play!
He's just 6'2", a freshman. I don't have his dunk numbers, but I can't imagine it's in double digits by any means. That was nice. Corner three's an air ball. Yeah, great box out by Dillon to get the rebound. The lead as large as 24. It's all Belmont at the Curb Event Center. Dillon turns the corner, puts the ball on the deck. Not much of a penetrator, and you can see why. Lost it out of bounds.
Here we go. Good help side there, walling up. Dillon gets the block. You get it out, hit ahead, and Jack Smiley take care of the rest, young fella. The two-handed stuff. You were not ready for that.
I was not. And the people behind us weren't ready for that as well. The student section was just as shocked as I was.
I was 50-50. I said, the way he's winding up, he might try to dunk this, and he did it with two, and it looked good.
I turned around, looked, and yeah, they were shaking their head no. Yeah, they weren't thinking that was coming as well.
I'll be careful there on those driving kicks when you spray it out, because that's an open three if you just put the ball in his pocket. And JJ Traynor not able to do that with some defensive pressure surrounding him.
Still a 21-point lead. Belmont puts up 82 points per game. They're already at 45, and there's still 4 minutes to go in this first half. Almost reminds me of the first half that Kansas had earlier on today in their game against BYU.
Yeah, didn't even need Darren Peterson to play the second half, and they still good backdoor.
Charnowski sets it up, and Smiley lays it in.
See, Murray State, even if they get scored on, they still want to push the pace and get the ball up the floor with those hit-aheads, see if they can come up with some easy baskets early in the shot clock.
Oh, they caught him high. Jackson was hit by Dillon. But the passing for Belmont, as well as transition, what aren't they doing well?
And Drew Charnowski, he waits for it. Jack Smiley up and backdoor, finds him, threads the needle for two. Belmont rolling.
It's been a party in a city that knows a thing or two about parties. Belmont leading. And coming this March, watch these teams and the rest of the Missouri Valley Conference compete for a bid. The Big Dance. Catch the semifinals on CBS Sport Network March 7th, followed by the championship game on CBS March 8th. Get ready for Arch Madness, the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament, presented by State Farm. All right, Noah, your Missouri Valley Conference midseason awards.
Well, Jalen Quinn, Quan Johnson, and Javon Jackson are my three guys at the top of the list here for potential Player of the Year honors. And then Roman Doman, I think, is the clear-cut freshman of the year coming off the bench for this Murray State squad, 53% from the floor. And then Casey Alexander, if they win tonight, they're going to have a 2+ game lead on the rest of the field in the Missouri Valley, and this will be his 20th win of the year, only 3 losses, sole possession of first place. I think right now he's the clear front runner for the Missouri Valley Coach of the Year.
Jackson at the line. It's the front end. And if you haven't been to St. Louis for the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament, you got to go. It's one of the stops, one of the places to be in March. Really is well done. You get great games, high quality basketball in a fun city. It's one of the best weeks that you could spend. Ball out of bounds will stay with Murray State.
Murray State is 1 of 10 from the three-point line. A team that is really actually a good three-point shooting team, but they're 18 of 80 over their last 3 coming into tonight from beyond the arc. So they just still can't find their rhythm or touch as Doman misses the floater inside.
And meanwhile, Belmont's made 7 of their 13 three-point attempts. They continue to shoot it well, season after season. You can't leave open Lundblade. Uses the pump fake, sets up Charnowski, spins against Traynor and hooks it home.
Unselfish from Tyler Lundblade, who got enough separation. He could have took the mid-range jumper off the bounce, takes a ton of jump shots, but opted to feed the big fella who took care of the rest.
24-point lead, largest lead.
Look at those hands. Charnowski doing a lot defensively.
But it does lead to the open three, and Mason Miller, a 40% shooter from distance, hits his first long ball.
Mason Miller, 111 field goal attempts coming into the night. 100 of them have been jump shots. So you know what he wants to do when he catches the basketball.
Jenkins fade. Charnowski is fouled. There's a lot of players like that in this game where most of their shots are jump shots.
Yeah, I was feeding you those before the game because I couldn't believe them.
Trainer's second foul, and 2 free throws for Charnowski. He's one of your favorite players for a reason I'll tell you coming up in a minute.
Please don't.
But first, I want to tell you, coming up, you got to stick around for AT&T at the half. You got Brent Stover, Chris Walker, Emeka Okafor, John Rossi, just a great crew. Let you know about this one in a crazy day. One of the busy Saturdays of college hoops is coming up on AT&T at the half. So Drew Charnowski, one of his hobbies, playing with Legos, and he built a life-size Lego car.
I'm so jealous of him as an avid Lego builder. I think the most I've done is like 1,800 pieces, and he's building a full car. I mean, I'm way behind on my Lego building experience.
So he has a post presence and a building presence.
Where do you even get that?
That's a good question. I need to follow up on that.
And where do you put it? You just waste garage space with a full-sized Lego car? I don't get it.
In the social media age that we live in, it's not a waste if you can get some likes. Fade from the free throw line, and Tyler Lundblade is in double figures with 10.
Good job cutting back door and then taking the easy one, floater in the middle of the lane.
Leading scorer Jackson all the way to the rim and spins it home.
Good stride and good backspin as he's flying away from the right side of the floor, able to get that one to drop. Pretty move from Javon Jackson.
First field goal, he was 0 for 5 from the floor. Dylan curls, teardrop shot, too much, and Jackson hands above his head for the rebound with 90 seconds to play in the opening half. Lane Taylor, point guard, sets up Jackson, takes the three. Rebound for King underneath, and that's how you get back in the game is Fred King.
Yep, cleanup for Fred King. Didn't get much of it with that foul trouble, but good to see him have some impact here late in this first half.
This is the best extended stretch for Murray State so far in the game, and it comes to an end. Lundblade counting and a foul. Mason Miller with the contact. And a chance to get the lead back up to 20 with 1:01.
Well, Tyler Lundblade gets the pitch, the ball screen downhill, and then gets fouled from behind on what was originally a routine jumper. I'll take a +1, says Tyler Lundblade.
That's a word or two for the Murray State sideline. Lundblade with 13 points, 5 of 8 shooting. He's made 2 of his 5 threes. And a 54-point half. Taylor weaves, tiptoes, accelerates, floats. King bullies and lays it in.
Started with that little Nash dribble, what they call it. Steve Nash used to circle the rim like that on the baseline and drops it off to the big fella. Fred King, back-to-back buckets inside.
Finally, the Murray State offense getting consistent, and they get a steal defensively. Jackson leading the way. Doman blocked on a three-point attempt, but a foul. They say Dylan got the wrist. The second on Dylan, and 3 free throws coming up.
Well, Chris, I mean, very fortunate, because if he makes a 3, they get right at that 15 line. If they can get one more stop on the defensive end going into halftime, and less than cut it anymore into that deficit.
Doman. There's the first of 3. Let's take another look at this. You hear the Belmont crowd not happy. It looked like he might have gotten the ball first. And when you do...
I'm looking at his feet. I think he took away some of that landing space. And Doman did a good job just landing where he took off. And there was a defender underneath him. And if you don't give the landing space, it's a foul 10 out of 10 times.
So that's the difference of a shooter like you versus just a broadcaster like me. I was looking at the hands and the ball. You're looking at the feet.
Yeah, but the only shots I ever got up were in practice, and they never gave me the foul calls on the scout team. So what do I know, man?
Put them up and knock them down. Still with the best of them, even if they weren't in game action. Doman, who's been getting a lot of game action off the bench and production. Hits 2 of the 3. Makes it a 16-point game, which, hey, all things considered, and Doman takes it away. And now it's a 14-point contest.
Get a stop.
And that was the number that you highlighted. You said 14. If you can get it to 14 by half.
God, I hope I'm right.
You feel like you're still in this one.
No help side there on that drive.
But Smiley missed it. And Murray State with the last chance. Doman gets rid of it. Jackson! No. But what a flurry by Murray State. They score the last 6 points. In a half where they were down as many as 24. They're within 14.
Yeah, really good late push there. Fred King, back-to-back buckets, and then Roman Doman gave them the boost they needed. Fouled on a three-pointer, and then a beautiful steal at the very end on an inbound pass for another 2, down 14.
54-40. After the break, we'll get you to the studio. It's AT&T at the half.
This is AT&T at the half. Connecting changes everything.
Welcome inside our New York studios, AT&T at the half. Brent Stover, Chris Walker, Mecca Okafor, and our insider, John Rothstein.
Giddy up.
Belmont at home, 54 points. Most they've scored in the first half this season, up by 14.
Listen, I got to get on the bat phone. I got to call my guy, Ryan Miller. I worked with him a long time. And they got to play some defense. I mean, it's just getting out of control. They're giving up 78 a game. They're already giving up 54. Belmont makes 10 threes a game. They've already made 7. Casey Alexander, they won 6 in a row. They got these guys firing on all cylinders. And here's the thing. Murray State started out the Missouri Valley Conference 8-0, and now they lost 3 straight. And it looks like they're on the way to lose a 4th. He's going to have an energized halftime speech, but it's going to have to start with playing some defense. Mecca, they need you, man. They need
Yeah, exactly. Some kind of rim protection, although they've hit 7 threes, 7 of 13 downtown for Belmont, 58% shooting overall, 54-40. Stay in the valley of the matchup we just had right here between Bradley and Drake. The Bulldogs trying to avenge a 27-point loss 3 weeks ago to the Braves. And really, Bradley was in control throughout on the road in Des Moines, John.
Yeah, this game was about 2 syllables. Alex Hubricks. Hubricks was ridiculous tonight. Look at the spacing. Look at the shooting. Hubricks makes another 3-point shot. He was on fire. 9 of 10 from 3-point range. It tied a school record. 29 points for Hubricks.
Number 2, UConn.
Yeah, how about those Huskies? Alex Carabon kicking it to his man Solo Ball, who knocks it down. Right there. Jason
What does the Mecca got the UConn
on the fast break, throws down the hammer. And once again, Solo Ball doing what he does, knocking down this tray ball with ease. Huskies lead.
It's 41-30 at the break at Creighton. UConn closes the half on a 14-3 run. Okay, that's the man. Cal, Kentucky, gets his old school, taking on Arkansas. It's 57-53, not deadlocked at 61, Chris.
Again, he was a preseason SEC player. You're getting to the rim, knocking down that shot. And the freshman, Moreno, with the cleanup crew. There he is again, getting to the rim. Listen, was it a comeback? No, it wasn't a comeback. Right.
Kentucky, no problem.
No problem. No problem.
85-77 on the road. Ole Miss taking on Vanderbilt in the Music City.
Yeah, good pass right there. That's A.K. Okereke finding Mike James for the 3. And then Ole Miss going to make a little run here. Down 5. A.J. Storr drills it 70-68. Then 3-point game. Storr misses a chance to tie. Malik Dia going to try to get the offensive rebound and the putback. It's no good. Doors 19-3. Who said that on November 1st?
Yeah, back with more highlights, including the showdown at the Fog between Darren Peterson and A.J. Devonsa. Did it live up to the hype? That answer and more after the break.
Belmont is a place where your story and the stories you want to tell can be explored and celebrated.
We work to understand the world so we can helpfully engage in making it a place where all can flourish.
It's the kind of feeling that I hope that I'll keep with me forever, and being surrounded by people who believe in you.
We are here to push our limits, to find our purpose and champion life abundant for all.
If you are eager to make change in the world, there's no place better than Belmont.
Welcome back. It's AT&T at the half in the Valley.
Yeah, Brent, nothing is safe in the Valley, especially when you're playing Matador defense on the break. Sharing is caring. Chris, I wish we could say the same for this set with our host.
John, not nice.
Well, you got to give it back. This is my highlight. I knew you were against the wall.
I got my
right here.
parents watching at home. They love you.
I'm big fans of both of them, but I've never gotten an invite for dinner. Interesting. Meanwhile, Arizona State always has an invite to trade blows with Wisconsin, but they're not playing Wisconsin. They're playing Arizona, and Arizona has been pounding the Sun Devils into submission, and today in the second half was more. Despite the onslaught early, Ivan Karchenkov gets some separation. Then Kopit tries, stuffs. All of a sudden, Arizona 22-0, best start in program history.
Fourth-ranked Duke, and Cameron Boozer taking on Virginia Tech.
I used to battle this kid's daddy back in the day, and these moves look awfully familiar. With Devils lead 2019, Boozer shows it off once again from the range, though. Amani Hansberry drives, spins,
get right back.
lays it in. Isaiah Evans pulls up, gets fouled, able to be strong for the end one. Duke extends the lead.
Yeah, win by 14. Game number 1,000 in the history of Fog Allen. It's 8-8 DeBonsa and Darren Peterson squaring off.
Heavyweight showdown, and Peterson was ridiculous when he was on the floor. Look at the reverse layup right there, and then how about the hammer drop by DP? All over Kebakeda. Look at the finish here. But then, with 17 minutes left in the second half, Peterson left the game, would not return due to cramps. Bill Self said post game, and then this guy, Richie Saunders, got the Cougars back in the things. He had a career-high 33 in the loss, but too much Kansas down the stretch. Melvin, lead counsel 2 years ago, was at Wagner. Now he's at Kansas. America is a great country.
1,000 games in the history of that building. KU is
a lot of games.
878 and 122.
It's amazing. It's hard. I've been a head coach in that building. Impossible to win. Right? You're playing against 8 people. You know what I mean by saying that. But the other thing about it, you have to give Coach Self credit, because I thought, with no Darren Peterson and their roster, I was like, I don't know how it's going to look for Kansas, particularly the way the Big 12 has gone the last few years. He has done a magnificent job. Darren Peterson, that thing is, again, it continues to be an anomaly. They'll get it figured out. But I think the other guys have begun to galvanize around council and even the team to really make this thing move forward. And then when they play at home, forget about it. They're going to win anytime.
So I'm going to jump to Arizona. As a big, I like the way they're going about things. They're doing it fundamental basketball, points in the paint, rebounds, free throws. They're not getting caught up in this three-point, craze. They only hit six a game, which is 334th in the nation, but they're number 1 in the AP polls, so I think teams should take notice.
Could the Big 12 have multiple teams in the Final Four? It is a very, very real possibility. The teams that finish 4th and 5th in this conference could easily be in the second weekend of the NCAA tournament. But for one more day, this is only January.
Amazing. Second half from Nashville comes your way after this.
Thank you for watching AT&T at the Half.
A first half that was all Belmont here in Nashville on that strip right there. I think all the drinks right now at least are on ice, because that's where Nashville is right now. But Belmont really heated up in that first half. Along with Noah, I'm Chris. So Belmont led by as many as 24. Murray State did erase 10 points from the largest deficit, so it's still somewhat of a contest.
Yeah, it's somewhat of a game because they were able to get under that 15-point marker, and I think that that's key for their confidence if they can get off to a strong start here in the first 2 minutes of this second half.
How did Belmont build the lead? Well, they shared the ball, and they got a lot of great looks
Oh, boy, did they. My key to the game was, can you get 20 assists? Well, they said, we're going to get 16 in the first half, and they were wheeling and dealing that thing every which way. Drive kick to the cutters. They were spraying out to shooters. On the three-point line as they hit 7 in that first half. And then on the other end, Roman Doman came off the bench, but he's clearly probably the freshman player of the year in the MVC, and he was the spark plug that they needed. It came along a little late, but he got bucket after bucket, and none more important than the end of the half. With that anticipation right there, picking it off for another 2. Huge play from the freshman.
We look at the first half stats, a difference in 5 made threes, so minus 15 from the three-point line for Murray State, and they're down 14 in the game, so that's where your eyes go. But you mentioned Roman Doman is 13, Lundblade 13 to lead the way for Belmont. Now, you also highlighted the fact that Doman comes in off the bench. He's starting the second half as well on the bench. So how long can you afford to have your top scorer in this game right there on the sideline if you're Coach Miller?
Definitely an interesting decision, but I mean, Coach Miller clearly has a purpose to stick with his guys. You don't want to break confidence by pulling someone out of the starting lineup. I just think in this situation, the first 2 minutes of this second half are crucial for kind of clawing back into that lead. I wouldn't hesitate much longer to get Doman back into the game if you need to.
And right away, the guy you said to keep an eye on running all around the floor, Tyler Lundblade.
Oh, he's got some of the best conditioning in the country with the amount of movement he has on the offensive side of the ball, how much he runs around in the half court.
Isn't that an underrated skill for a shooter as King muscles that one in?
Need more of that.
His conditioning, though, you think of all the great shooters. I mean, you have to run a lot and log a lot of miles to get open looks.
No doubt. You think about guys like Steph Curry, Duncan Robinson, some of those, obviously, Steph is an anomaly. You talk about a guy, more mild-mannered like Duncan Robinson, who's only creating his shots off screens, off handoffs, as Taylor laces one from 3. It's not easy, but that's how those guys train in the offseason. When you're conditioning, is you just get a lot of full court three-pointers in, and it kind of trains you for moments like this where he's probably never tired out there because he's used to only running the amount that he does.
He's earned everything that he's gotten in his college career. He gets loose from the corner again. Lundblade connects and looks right into the Belmont bench.
You can't trade baskets. Came in down 14, now you're down 16 because Tyler Lundblade's putting his imprint on the game.
And that's a travel, not enough of a bump to yield a foul. Instead, an extra step from Taylor.
Hey, listen, he's waiting there. He gets that little pin-in screen for him to flare out to the corner, and that's a rhythm catch and shoot corner pocket for the sharpshooter.
He's from Dallas.
See, look at him here. Gets the back cut, and then he's going to run off some sort of screen. They turn it over.
On the other side of the floor, just went through the hands of Rogers. But then on the other end, an offensive foul. And they get Fred King for his 3rd. Too aggressive, carving out some room as he was flying down the lane.
Ryan Miller not happy with that referee and that call, and gets a technical on cue. Let's see Fred King, watch him. Yep, that's an offensive foul. In the ref's eyes, there's enough of a lower shoulder and a bump there, and it looked deliberate. And I think that's why the ref called it.
It was one of those where, he established position initially, but when you get that little bump right there, like you're in an airplane seat trying to get up to get, to the aisle so you can use the restroom, they'll call a foul on that.
Yeah, and Coach Miller obviously advocating for just more physicality and let the guys play his team in transition. They're trying to make something happen, and then they get caught. And his big guy, fortunately, who had 2 early fouls, that gets his 3rd foul just 2 minutes into the second half.
So 3 fouls on the big. Lundblade up to 20 points. He's a 94% free throw shooter. And Coach Ryan Miller gets teed up. Back to an 18-point lead. Belmont led by as many as 24 points. It was 49-25. Lundblade dances, emphasizes off left side, and Charnowski was out of bounds.
Just look at how he moves. Like, Miller's guarding him, and he knows he's trying to get open for a three-pointer and that it's coming. Nothing else can matter in those moments other than just he moved an inch, I'm moving with him, but you got to be a step ahead of him on those movements defensively.
It's sort of like the Spider-Man meme with those two guys defending each other. They both are like off-ball movement shooters. And going step for step, chasing each other. Jabez Jenkins, his third foul. So we'll see if he checks out. In fact, Belmont does bring back Isaiah West to the scorer's table, and Jenkins does check out. A high school teammate of Stephon Castle, Jabez Jenkins from Covington, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. And what a career so far in the NBA for Stephon Castle after a year at UConn.
Absolute steal at the 4th pick in that draft, winning Rookie of the Year last year.
Taylor rejected. Rogers from the weak side.
Great defense.
Smiley leading the way. West takes the three. Connects. Back up to a 21-point lead.
Those are backbreakers because Isaiah West is not a three-point shooter for this Belmont Bruins team. He shoots 37% from three, but he doesn't really shoot a lot of them.
That was just a 7 made three in 17 attempts.
There you go.
West just hit a three. Rogers screens. Nobody playing Charnowski, but this is where they do their dribble handoffs to get their shooter space. Charnowski will take that space himself, then set up Lundblade. This is their game. Blocked from behind by Miller. Shot clock down to 6. The side crab dribble for Lundblade, who gets fouled. So it's again, if you play off of Charnowski, Belmont automatically goes into their dribble handoff game.
Yeah, well, he's got the ball at the top of the key like that. They're trying to run that point action where the big fella can kind of dictate, am I going to get a back cutter? But there you see that hostage dribble. Miller just doesn't get in front of him, and Traynor doesn't step up early enough to stop the drive because he's trying to play both with Bridges, and then Lundblade able to take advantage of the situation and draw the foul.
Traynor, his third. Tomorrow morning, 9 Eastern, head out to the pitch. Catch a Scottish Professional Football League showdown. Hibernian hosts Rangers right here on CBS Sports Network. So Belmont's big lead was cut as close as 13 points. But they have responded in kind to build it back to 23.
Well, Tyler Lundblade came out firing to start the second half. You see Belmont on a 10-0 run over the last 2 minutes. Lundblade hadn't scored 20-plus in 7 straight games. He'd really been struggling. He was held scoreless in one of those 7 games where he was held under 20, but finally able to break loose here, and he needed it.
That January breakout, he was held to just 11 points per game in the month. That cross-court pass off the mark, and it's another Murray State turnover, number 11. Well, Belmont's threes in the second half, though, are not slowing down one bit. They've hit 9 threes in this game, and Isaiah West, who's not much of a shooter, getting involved in the action as well. West right in front of his bench. Oh, that looks. During the break, they started swag surfing. Swagging out on the court as well. Belmont by 23. We revisit our AT&T Fast Analysis where we focused on Tyler Lundblade, and it's his January breakout performance.
Yeah, he's on fire, and it's all due to the confidence off the ball. He hit his first 2 shots of the game in the first half, and he's come out in this second half, lighting it up. He's on a mission, and look at all these tough buckets. That one was the and one in the first half off the one dribble pull-up. And he's fired up like he should be because he's got this Belmont Bruins team +9 here to start the second half. After Murray State did a really good job cutting into the deficit, down 14 at half, but now down 23 all over again after being up by 24 in that first half.
It has been an uphill climb for Murray State from the very beginning of this game. In fact, Murray State had an early lead within the game's first minute and a half. But since then, Belmont has showed why they are right now the top team in the Missouri Valley Conference. Came in billed as the battle for first. Team separated by a game in the standings, so the winner of this game would finish the day in first place in the league. Jabez Jenkins, who has 3 fouls, will head to the free throw line himself. KJ Tenner gets called.
Yeah, I like what Bez Jenkins was trying to do there. He was waiting on that post up as they were trying to swing the ball to his side of the floor. They were really trying to run Dillon off that flare screen, and then Dillon kind of came off it, got lost, and had to get it to him. And Bez Jenkins is one of those bigger guards that can down low and do some damage around the basket. We haven't seen a ton of tonight, but averaging nearly 10 points per game and almost 50% from the floor. But I have a fun stat here, another one at the rim, or about shots. He's taken 154 shots, and 101 of them have been at the rim. So, translation, he likes to play around the basket. He's shooting 58% on shots at the rim. So, really good player around the basket.
You bring a lot of fun stats to the table. Do you sit around with your family and tell them these fun stats like as a bedtime story? Do they enjoy them too?
I wish that I had more fun stats off rip, like at home with my family or with my siblings, but I don't. I don't know. When you put it on a basketball court within the 94 feet, it's so easy to generate the stats. They're sitting right in front of me.
I agree. I think they're fun. Even if your audience at home might not agree.
I think it tells a story about each player when you kind of understand, are they more of a jump shooter? Do they like to play around the basket? Where are they getting and generating more of their looks from? And a guy like Bez Jenkins loves being around the basket.
The officials stop play here. They're looking for a hook and hold that you sometimes see at these free throw box outs. So as we take a look at what we see.
Interesting.
Yeah, you had the complaint from Dillon.
Yeah, I think Doman got him early. Watch that left arm up top. I don't know if we have the other angle in front of them to see what Dillon was doing. He's saying he was pushing him. Yeah, I'm not going to make the call here. I do feel like it's 50-50. Depends on how much contact Doman was really using and force with that left arm. If he got up by the face, they're going to call flagrant.
Emphasis within the last 3 years. And again, you see the hook and hold a lot on these free throw line box outs.
This should tell us. I think that's a play on. They're both hooked, and Dillon at one point early on was holding Doman's arm to his chest, so I think that's got to be a common foul.
These are the definitions of a flagrant, and that hook and hold is very often considered the flagrant one. It's considered a dangerous act. There was a few injuries with that mechanic a few seasons ago in college basketball, so they put that rule in place to prevent those upper body injuries that come from the free throw box outs.
So they don't want guys getting elbowed in the face?
They frown upon that.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Yeah, just making sure.
Sam Orm, by the way, missing this game because he was elbowed in the face last time out against Valpo.
Common foul.
But they say it was a common foul, so nothing extra. Just a foul, no hook and hold. So we'll continue to play early in this second half.
Watch Lundblade.
Well, instead, it's the dribble drive. Dillon, who doesn't take many of his shots near the rim. That's just a mistake for Murray State. Had a chance to secure that rebound, and it's out of bounds.
Yeah, they've had a couple costly turnovers on the offensive end, and then here not being able to secure the defensive rebound on a blown layup by Owen Dillon.
Dillon, he curls and shoots. Swish. These guys are all money from three.
Oh, and that counts as a second chance opportunity. This Belmont offense came into the game second in the nation in effective field goal percentage at 60.3%. Translation, really, really efficient.
27-point lead is their largest lead of the game. Jack Smiley too aggressive defensively, so he gets called for his second.
Yeah, this is just simple. DHO, flip it to him, and he's 1-2 stepping into that thing and knocking it down. As Sharnowski does a good job staying sturdy on the screen so that Murray State's shorter couldn't get over the top.
Short floater, there it goes. So the DHO for a dribble handoff, and the 1-2 step is not just a Sierra song.
Also, I'd like to clarify, I said effective field goal percentage. Generally, that just means you account for the three-point shot having the same value as the two-point shot, and it's just a better metric to come.
Oh, the pogo stick tucked by Sharnowski. Look out.
Who cares about effective field goal percentage? percentage from the perimeter. Drew Charnowski punches it home.
That was an effective field goal.
They wanted enough of the nerd talk. give me the real stuff around the basket.
King tries to wrestle it away, deflects out of bounds, and will stay with Murray State. But Drew Charnowski, the redshirt sophomore from Burlington, Illinois, my goodness.
Follow it up, big fella. Mean mugging. Again, it started with him on the dribble handoff. Misses his own and then punches it back home. Woo, what a play.
Oh, he's fired up. Checks out of the game. A little chest bump with a member of the staff.
Well, it's fun to get a putback dunk, but it's more fun to get a putback dunk off your own miss, because it's like, yo, nobody was boxing me out, and I got the pogo stick back up that quick. It's a really athletic play.
Loose ball foul. It's called on Belmont. After the missed three off movement by Braden Shorter. Actually a held ball, so correction there. Possession arrow keeps it with Murray State. King, oh, he has stutter as well. So King with a response, a loud one for Murray State.
Yeah, that's a beautiful post-entry pass over the top. Nobody on the back line there to help on the catch, and Fred King does the rest at the rim.
From the Bahamas, Mangrove K, Bahamas, Fred King. NBA Academy, Latin America, get some youth reps, and the years at Creighton. Hesitation move by Jenkins, putting the defense on skates.
Ripped a quick in and out with that left hand and then blew by Doman for the slick finish.
Doman off the glass. He was fouled, and he will strut to the stripe with his team down big.
Watch the left hand right here. Quick, ooh, that in and out. And then the inside hand finish past the freshman Roman Doman. Look at it, boom. And that's enough on that twist with that left hand when he turns it into out to get the step on his defender and score it at the cup. I told you a couple minutes ago, he's a phenomenal player around the rim. Almost 60% field goal percentage at the basket.
So he's the guy that can get to the rim and also help set up the shooters. Belmont brings back Owen Dillon. We should mention for the Bruins, no Sam Moore, out with an injury suffered against Valpo last time out, and no Mick McLean. This is his 8th straight game missed, out since the 1st of January with an injury, and in 15 games played, he was leading the Missouri Valley Conference in assists.
Yeah, bigger guard, 10 points, 6 assists a game. He's so pivotal to what Belmont does. You see all the movement on the offensive side of the ball. He was the facilitator, the playmaker, and the engine for this offense, and it's been a real bruiser to not have him out there. Oh, my.
It's cash, all money. Owen Dillon. And these aren't easy threes. These are movement shots.
These guys are allergic to missing.
Volleyed back out. Wrap pass. Settles to the top. Martise Carbone. There's a three from the wing, and Braden Shorter with D2 Washburn in Topeka, Kansas. Led Division II with 118 threes last season.
They keep feeding that high post with Charnowski. Nobody's going to close out on him, but he's all the time in the world to make the right decision here with those handoffs and screens.
King throws it away with a big shot block. We mentioned he's from the Bahamas. Mangrove K, it's a city known for bone fishing. It's kind of a form of fly fishing. I don't know if you're an expert fisherman by any means, but
I know nothing about fishing. I only know about three-pointers.
Well, so does Belmont.
They can't miss.
Noyes hits that three. It's the 12th made three of the game.
And how about Aiden Noyes? 3 threes off the bench.
Correction, 11th made three. And you're right, Noyes in his 5th game played this season, continuing to get more comfortable with Coach Alexander. There's the floater that goes. KJ Tenner. Murray State had a 6-0 run to close, which cut a 20-point game to a 14-point game. You felt that maybe the Racers had a second-half push Well, they've been pushed away. Aiden Noyes, he is en fuego. 15 points, a new career high. It's a 30-point lead.
I mean, 12 of 20 from 3 to Murray State's 4 of 17. Their three-point woes continue here at Belmont.
I mean, you're seeing the ceiling of the first-place team en route to their 16th straight 20-win season. They're talking about programs like Gonzaga, Kansas, Oregon, the only other ones with 15 straight 20-win seasons. Well, Belmont's about to make it 16.
Aiden Noyes gets back-to-back triples. He's on fire. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Fresh Pet.
It's a Belmont clinic. Up 30 over the team in second place in the Missouri Valley Conference. Time now for our player profile, and it's brought to you by State Farm. Focus on Jabez Jenkins, redshirt freshman from just outside of Atlanta. And see some of his favorites. When he was 9 years old, he asked his mom if he could learn to sew bow ties. So, hey, wide interest, I like it. Not long after, he took some of those bow ties to school. They sold out in minutes. Entrepreneur spirit, I like it. He and his younger brother, Christopher, they soon launched Kings and Gents Accessories, offering bow ties, pocket squares, and belts for teens. Well done.
Well, having done a game with Bez Jenkins on the floor, I think I'm almost certainly going to purchase maybe a belt, maybe my own bow tie. I would love to support. I think it's a great idea. He's been phenomenal tonight. Obviously, this whole Belmont team has been rolling as a collective unit here on this Saturday night.
He was honored by the Sugar Bowl back in 2022 for community service. So well-rounded individual. There's a whistle and a foul. They hold on KJ Tenner. Now, I know you have a strong opinion when it comes to fashion of coaches in college basketball. Speaking of fashion. You're not a fan of the new era sweats or slacks and
so I guess you could call me a hypocrite, because like if I was a coach, I would 100% want to be wearing the quarter zip with the sport pants. I would 100% would want to be. But as a broadcaster, a fan, a consumer of basketball that watches a ton of it on TV, I want to see the benches with the coaches in suits. Dan Hurley, Rick Pitino, John Calipari. There's a select Kevin Willard. There's a select group of coaches that are still honoring the tradition and the classy look of wearing a suit, right? You used to see Pat Riley in the 80s wearing the Armani suits, decked out the Showtime Lakers. Imagine if he was just wearing a quarter zip on the sidelines. I mean,
would it be the same?
It wouldn't be the same. The history of the game has coaches in suits, and I'm sorry, I'm just a strong advocate for the suits.
The traditionalist.
It's one of the only traditionalist views I actually have, believe it or not.
There's a foul down low. They get Tyler Lundblade for his second. So on that point, I do see both sides. You know, you're a coach, or working out with players before the game. The individual's there, so you probably want to have more flexible clothing. 100%. But also, you want your games to feel important, right? To build up the mystique behind the game. Yeah. And sometimes wearing a suit makes something feel more important.
Well, Jay Billis said it best last year. He said, I miss the coats because I miss the big game feel it brought to the game.
There
and
you
I think that translates to what you're saying about just seeing them on the sideline going, wow, this feels more important than maybe it is. Look at how these guys are dressed. But I get it. The assistants are doing a lot of workouts pregame. They get, it's hard to put the suits on. Suits are expensive. You need a variety of them. But we've gotten very far away from that.
Trainer connects on a three. And then you can cap off your suit with a Jabez Jenkins bow tie.
Are you pro or anti the suit? You didn't give your answer.
I'm pro suit. I kind of share your opinion. I like the personalities that were showcased in the game because of what suits they were wearing. Drew Sharnowski glides to the rim. Fred King fouls him, and that's foul number 4 with 9:53 to go in the second. Sharnowski, familiar with the free throw line. 1 of 4 in games. Not a great shooter, just 44%. for a Belmont team that has been rolling. Take a look at their tournament resume, CBS Sports Bracketology. Yes, we're in that season. We're almost in February. You'll be seeing that CBS Sports Bracketology more and more. Right now has them as a 12 seed as the winners of the Missouri Valley. Now I guess the question is, all right, Arch Madness is hectic. That's why they call it Arch Madness. And what if Belmont gets upended before cutting down the nets in St. Louis? Do they have enough to be considered in the at-large conversation?
Well, it'll definitely be tricky coming out of the Missouri Valley. Their best bet is to just win that tournament, assuming they also win the regular season title. Assuming they win tonight, going to have a 2+ game lead on the rest of the field.
Corbone, no. Shot clock late. Trainer deflected. Charnowski got a piece. Belmont has 88 points, and there's still 9:20 left.
They're going to break 100.
One blade dishes. West deflected. Corbone gets credit for the steal, and here comes Doman. Been the standout for Murray State tonight. Gets to the rim, throws it high in the air, and will go back to the free throw line with the 4th foul on Rogers. See that smile from Rogers. 4 points, 4 fouls, 4 rebounds. His favorite number 4 tonight.
Roman Doman, I thought, really kind of changed the course of the first half for Murray State. And I guess I was surprised that he'd start the second half. I think in my mind, I thought, well, your bench guy is producing so much, you maybe want to just put him into the lineup to start second half. And maybe that's against what Ryan Miller kind of believes in, because he talked to us earlier about the confidence of his group and why he plays so many guys such equal minutes. I just wonder how much different the second half could have turned out to be had he been out there to start it. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered with the way both teams are shooting. I mean, we're looking at a 7 3-pointer difference, a 35-point advantage for Belmont from the 3-point line.
In the lane, it goes. Charnowski took the bump from Trainer, but he's too strong.
Sorry, I just did horrible math. 21 pointers. My Lord, I was multiplying the wrong numbers. I really need like a pen and paper if I'm going to do math on the fly.
The number of games you have is growing, but doing math on the air is something that you should always try to avoid. Take it from me, at least.
It feels inevitable, like you're running into situations where you have to.
Charnowski.
Unbelievable. I need a tutor.
Completes the 3-point play. The emotion. They knew this was a big game and a rivalry game. Going back to the Ohio Valley Conference, where both of these teams basically traded championships. They won them all in a 10-year span between these two in the Ohio Valley. And now they've taken that rivalry to the Missouri Valley Conference, and right now have the top 2 records in the league.
Yeah, they're going to get shorter on that foul, trying to deny entry to Charnowski, who is just so big and physical, and his involvement in this Belmont offense is so important. Like, the amount of touches he gets around the top of the key and those guard spot areas, free throw line extended, he is the anchor of that offense and making decisions kind of like a Draymond Green. You notice when Draymond has the ball a lot and you're waiting for Steph Curry to run off, is he going to come off a double screen? Is he going to come off the single screen? Is he going to get the DHO, the dribble handoff? Charnowski is in a very similar position offensively as what you see Draymond do, where he dictates, am I going to hand it off here? Am I going to keep it, drive it, get to the next down screen? It's a really fun, free-flowing motion offense. And Charnowski's got one of the most fun positions in the offense. And you might argue, no, he doesn't. He's not shooting. Yeah, but he's in charge of so much of the decision-making on where the ball placement is going to be.
And to cap off your point, you know, similar to some of the Draymond Green seasons, he leads the team in rebounding and assists, which is a rare combination. Usually the guy who's leading your team in assists is not your guy who's also leading in rebounding.
Right, it's the playmaking and his ability, those backdoor passes, his understanding and timing with the basketball is why they're able to run that type of offense with him.
Now, I should say, amongst players who are on the floor right now, because you go back to their injury, Nick McClain, who leads the team in assists overall, but he's been out since the beginning of the month, and unsure of when they're going to get him back.
It's just a different level of offense and high-octane play that they can have when you have a big guy like that, and then you surround him with an infinite amount of guys that can shoot the ball from three, starting with Tyler Lundblade, Jack Smiley, Owen Dillon. Aiden Noyes came in and made a lot of noise tonight. I mean, they just got so many options.
Lane Taylor, Arkansas catching. His dad was a high school basketball legend in Arkansas. Dad Johnny comes in leading Murray State with 4 assists per game. Not Murray State's best game, sure, and it's been a tough 2 weeks in danger of losing their 4th straight, which came immediately after a 12-game win streak. That one toilet bowled home, all around and down on the gorgeous reverse from Isaiah West.
Smooth blow by. As Doman gets a little out of control on that spin move.
3-on-2 the other way. New age fast break where you stop at the 3-point line.
Yeah, no one's running to the rim. Spread out.
Lundblade has a lane. He's hacked. And we'll head to the line. 4th on Trainer. But Drew Sharnowski is carving out some room here in this second half and letting you know about it. The Mack truck to the rim, and then the horn. "90 miles away, Murray, Kentucky. It's north on the northern border of Tennessee. They made the trip. Have not seen a lot of what they wanted to see making the drive over. Murray State down big. CBS Sports Network's coverage of college hoops continues next with a Mountain West clash. You have New Mexico traveling to San Jose State. New Mexico, first-year head coach. A lot of freshmen on their team. The only thing that's the same from last year is the wins. Jake Hall, who was one of San Diego County's all-time high school scorers, is now just lighting it up for New Mexico. You look at the numbers in the first game when they played San Jose State back on December 20th.
And the efficiency of these guys is remarkable, especially from the three-point line. There's so many talented players that have figured out a way to be north of 40% from the three-point line. We're watching a couple here on both of these teams. That's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, Jake Hall was a 3,000-point scorer in high school.
That's ridiculous.
3,000.
Doesn't even sound like a normal number. You're scoring almost 1,000 points a year, man. Chill out.
At a New Mexico game a couple weeks ago, that's exactly what I mentioned. I was like, it sounds like you messed up and you meant to say 2,000.
Right. You know, like 1,000 every 2 years. Okay, it seems a little more normal, but 3,000 is crazy.
25 points in this game for Lundblade, who just connected on that free throw. He had a rare miss at the line. He's a 94% free throw shooter. He was the nation's leader in three-point percentage last season. A guy who walked on to Belmont, just like he walked on to SMU, just like he walked on at TCU. 95-61. In a matchup with the top 2 teams in the Missouri Valley Conference, separated by just 1 game in the standings.
Good pocket pass.
Rogers can't get it. He's playing with 4 fouls.
Dillon has looked like he can make a little play off the bounce. He showed it a couple times now. It was another good look there. Just Rogers not able to finish it.
Jackson now just 1 of 9 shooting, and he's missed all 6 threes. So you want to point to Murray State, and why aren't they? Well, Jackson is typically a guy who will give you 17 a game.
Yeah, great call, partner. He got off to a slow start, and the foul trouble with King kind of affected the 2-man game that those two can play together, and just wasn't able to find really any clean looks. A lot of those looks he got from 3 early on, he had to get them up in a hurry. He didn't get anything downhill at the rim. The help side from Belmont on those dribble drives to his right hand were all suffocating, and it just wasn't his night.
Bounce pass to the rolling Rogers, but you don't get any credit for it. Alliteration. It goes off the front of the rim. Foul in the backcourt, Rogers, and that is his 5th, so he is fouled out.
They were feeding the big fella back-to-back good pocket passes off the pick and roll. Rogers just wasn't able to get either of them to drop. And he had a great game. The way his impact is different. It's not really meant to score. Yeah, you get some chippies around the basket, but Brigham Rogers is that tough as nails, dirty player, get on the ground, dive on loose balls, create extra possessions on the offensive glass, and he did a lot of that tonight.
It's funny, in the offseason, he changed his number from 21 to 12. Had a jersey retirement during last season. Ian Clark's numbers in the rafters at the Curb Event Center. Ian Clark, a great player at Belmont. But yeah, it's always interesting when they retire the jersey of a player whose number is actually on the current roster.
And didn't they tell him, like, hey, you can keep 21 if you want? And he was like, I'm not going to do that.
No, you retired it.
Yeah, out of respect, like, you guys retired it. Why would I be able to wear it? And I, shout out to him for the self-awareness.
Lundblade off the back of the rim. But of course, Belmont chases the rebound. Lundblade again.
Why not?
Wow, he missed 2 in a row.
Got a second open look. You might as well take it.
Crossover, then behind the back. Best move of the game for Javon Jackson.
Well, speaking of the downhill right-handed drives that Javon Jackson hasn't been able to get tonight, got his first clean one there 35 minutes into the game.
Corner 3, halfway down, pops out from Wynn Miller in the corner. Rocketed off the body of Belmont, and will go the other way. Timeout called by Belmont, leading 95-67, and Casey Alexander 5:37 away from another 20-win season. Casey Alexander's Belmont Bruins. I mean, if there's a game that highlights what makes this program great, it's this one. Dazzling offense, excellent defense, consistency, shooting. And you see the coaches with 9 straight 20-win seasons. For him, it goes back a couple of years at Lipscomb. The Nashville native and a guy who was an assistant for 16 years under Rick Bird. And he got the reins here at Belmont. He just continued to do exactly what Bird did, win, 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 win. And 5:37 away from making that 10 straight 20-win seasons as a head coach.
Those are no joke names to be on the same list as. Greg McDermott, Mark Few, Dana Altman, Bill Self, Kelvin Sampson. Like, those are 5 of the best coaches in the country for over a decade now. And Casey Alexander is just consistency, structure, and the culture builder that he's proven to be is remarkable.
Charnowski called 9th team foul. And yeah, Alexander, we talked about him and his Nashville connections, and yeah, this has been a tough week for the Nashville community with the just devastating ice storm. A high of 21 degrees today. The feels-like temperature in the single digits. You had that Sunday night last week. Over 200,000 people in the area without power, and you still have tens of thousands that are still looking to have the power restored in the area. It's been tough for the community here, and even for members of the staff, they've had to deal with their house without power and a lot more time at the facility. But luckily,
uncharted territory for the Nashville community, and you hope everybody can kind of get back on their feet, because ice is no joke and obviously super dangerous. So we're obviously thinking of everybody that's been affected by it.
No question. Well, the Nashville team has put together a performance that the community certainly could be proud of. Charnowski, who had a great dunk, a tip slam earlier on in this half, almost got that one to go. Taylor crosses over, triple teamed in the lane. Jackson, can he get going? King rips the rebound and lays it in with the left.
Good cleanup there for King. And it started with the drive from Lane Taylor, who's got a really strong 3.9 assist to turnover ratio. Obviously didn't have one of his better games today, which is how good this Belmont defense was. That kind of goes for Murray State as a whole, but a solid playmaker for the Racers.
All right, take me through the mindset of Murray State. All right, we had really a month of stellar basketball. You team that won 12 straight. And you took that tough Iowa trip in the Valley against Drake in Northern Iowa, 2 losses there, a loss at home, and now this one on the road at Belmont. Still near the top of the standings, but clearly something has turned from what this team was just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, there's no telling what exactly the issue is. Obviously, you can point to the three-point line and their struggles there as to a huge catalyst. And when you win 12 in a row, oh my,
King me.
that was ridiculous.
King.
You win 12 in a row, you win your first 8 to start conference play, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in a 4-game skid. I remember my second year at Rider University, we were picked to win the league, and we started off conference play in the MAAC MAC 6-0, and then we lost 6 in a row, and just like that, we were at 500, and we finished with a 4 seed. So, it can come at you really quick in conference play when you play in a tough league like the Missouri Valley Conference, because there's not a lot of handouts in this league, and they've figured that out over these last 4, that every night's a battle. And now more than ever, 12 games into conference play, the rest of these games are going to be super, super important that they don't slip anymore.
The balance of this league is just one of the best parts.
That's a foul. Sorry, I was thrown off by the blatant shove, the ref standing right there.
15-2 run, by the way, for Murray State. But you're talking about the Valley, just like no game is given. Every game is tough on the road, especially. Lundblade from the elbow. This is a get-right game. Tyler Lundblade, 27 points. And get this, he's done it making only 3 threes. He had 2 threes in the game's first 3 minutes.
Yeah, and then just 1 in this second half, but the other 5 field goals have been huge. He's also 8 of 9 from the foul line. That's a shooter's dreams to get to the line that much and be dominant from 3 levels.
The threes for Belmont, as always, a big story.
Yeah, it's ice cold outside, but it's blistering heat inside. The Belmont Bruins, an absolute scorcher from 3-point range tonight. Just nothing Murray State could do to run them off the line. The efficiency just unmatched for this Bruins squad.
12 of 23 from 3 as we look back on our keys to the game, brought to you by Fresh Pet. And I feel like, Noah, you were right on the big themes all game long.
Well, I said earlier, I love being right. 20-plus assists. This is going to make them 8-0 in games where they have 20 or more assists. And obviously, they controlled the pace, the 19 points off turnovers, and they've taken 8 more field goal attempts than Murray State. They've been getting up and down all night, and obviously, Murray State -3 on the glass, unable to dominate the boards, and really just been Belmont all night long.
It has been a long night for Murray State. In a place where it's been tough over the years for them to get a win. Doman makes the free throws. They were looking for just their 2nd win in 12 games here at the Curb Event Center. And this is a rivalry that goes back to the Ohio Valley Conference.
Coach Alexander still got all his guys out there for Belmont,
including West. Bounces, Sharnowski scoops. Strong scoring game for Sharnowski. He has 19 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, by the way. He's 1 dime away from triple-double.
Give it to him, come on. He's been wheeling and dealing all night. Got to make it happen. That's an incredible stat line. He's been phenomenal out there on everything. Offense, defense, playmaking, scoring, cleaning up the glass. What a player.
Off left side of the rim, Sharnowski adds another rebound. Do you think his teammates know it to shoot it off of every pass that Sharnowski gives?
He's rim running there, looking for the ball. I think we're going to see it happen.
He got 9 assists, 1 more, and he gets a triple-double.
Look, they don't even, Fred King not even guarding him. And they're going to try to set something up here with 10 on the clock. I think it's going to, offensive.
All right, there, they got it. Offensive foul with 1:27 to go.
That was designed. They were trying to get Sharnowski to make a play there with under 10 on the clock, and Sharnowski's not happy about it, but he definitely extended that arm. I was hesitant to say it because I don't want to call it for the ref, but it was pretty blatant.
His 4th foul. 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists. Again, that incredible line. Jackson in the lane. King boards against Sharnowski. Nobody at the scorer's table. So still the main regulars. I wouldn't say the starting five because Dylan's in. He's a reserve. Rest our starters. Jack Smiley reserve as well, should mention.
I feel bad for my fellow walk-ons that aren't getting the chance. I thought maybe they were going to get a little 90-second of burn there.
All right, a guy with 9 assists, ball in his hands, went away from a triple-double. Instead, they foul him. So free throws coming for Charnowski. So we'll perhaps have to settle for a 20-point game as some of the deep reserves are ready to come in. So yes, we are projecting here at CBS Sports Network. We can project ahead. And Belmont will be 10-2 in the Missouri Valley.
We're going to get a bench clearing substitution. I spoke too soon. The walk-ons and some of the reserves will get a chance.
Cooper Haynes, Jake Dykstra, Keith Robbins. Some of the guys who we don't get to call too often check in, and I mentioned it, a lot of the regulars head out for a Belmont performance. They do clear the triple-digit mark. They get to 101. Win Miller fouls there. Murray State led for only 52 seconds of this game. That was within the game's first couple of minutes. Charnowski getting ready to check out, and he'll get a round of applause from the fans here in Nashville. Just a strong all-around performance. Just stellar numbers. Braden Lamke does come in, and yes, that's it for Charnowski, the star of the night.
That duo, Drew Charnowski and Tyler Lundblade, playing the way they played tonight, this Belmont team could be unbeatable in the Missouri Valley with that type of production.
Quick three launch. The crowd wanted it from Lamke. Shorter, taller.
I like that.
30.8. A foul as soon as the ball gets across half court. 5 seconds separating the two clocks. Might be a clock issue there, pointing directly up at the clock. And Murray State, it's a trip here to Belmont, but their next game at home on Tuesday against UIC. For a road game Friday against Southern Illinois. Belmont will try to continue against Drake. That one goes.
That was jelly.
Okay.
That was some jelly, right? Where you finger roll it with a little finesse off the fingers. That was pretty.
So Lamke gets into the scoring column with a little jelly, according to my partner. 6 seconds left off rim. King tips it back. So Murray State ends up scoring 86 points. But Belmont clicking on all cylinders in the rivalry matchup with Murray State. They show why they have been the first place team in the Valley, and they remain at the top of the standings, 103-86. After the commercial break, it's New Mexico squaring off with San Jose State in a Mountain West showdown. For Noah Bono, Chris Lewis, this has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.